Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and whether you're at home, driving, or even at work, you know we're glad you're here with us. You know, we have such a very special show with a very special guest that I'll introduce in just a moment. And we've got a lot to talk about. So let's start here. You know, I have a rhetorical question for you. What would make a diverse group of people come together that includes prominent LGBTQ plus leaders and an African-American man who's also a Black Panther? Well, it happened on April 5th, 1977, when a diverse group of people, all with disabilities, staged a sit-in protest in San Francisco to demand greater accessibility and accommodations for themselves and other people with disabilities. This historic protest became known as the 504 sit-in. You see, despite the Section 504 Rehabilitation Act being signed into law by President Richard Nixon in September of 1973, Section 504 had not been fully enforced, leaving people with disabilities without the necessary accommodations and access to public services. It remained unenforced and unaddressed for 4 years. And this was due in part to businesses and organizations lobbying against implementing Section 504, arguing that it was too burdensome and unfair to expect them to implement accessibility or else lose federal funding. Now, 28 days after the sit-in and constant pressure from protesters, the regulations were finally signed upon and implemented, and they provided greater access and accommodations to people with disabilities to federal funded buildings. Now, 34 years later, and over 61 million Americans, they have disabilities. And it's the largest, fastest growing, and most diverse minority in the country. However, it's been hindered by unconscious actual biases, especially in the film and television industries. In fact, 95% of the top show characters with disabilities are played by non-disabled performers. And fewer than 2% of all television characters have a disability. You know, Ability Corps, a nonprofit organization, is changing the narrative with its abilityE. It's the first resource connecting the entertainment industry with authentic talent with disabilities, found nationwide for casting and crew using AI. With AI assistive technology, personalized consultation sessions, and in-platform video casting, abilityE is poised to change the Hollywood landscape on disability inclusion. And joining us to talk more about Ability Corps and abilityE is ability editor and journalist Jennifer Woodall. Jennifer works to increase disability awareness and inclusion and to break down unconscious bias. She understands all of this firsthand because she became disabled in 2021. And Jennifer, I'm so happy to have you here. Such an important conversation. I'll say to everybody, happy 34 years, happy anniversary to the ADA, because this is a very, very important topic and law.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Also, it's good to mention that July is Disability Pride Month as well. So
Yes.
it's good to be here all around.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that. Yeah. I forgot.
Mhm.
I forget to mention these stuff because there's so much going on. But yeah, it's
There is.
Disability Pride Month. So let's be proud. Be proud. Shout it
Yes.
out loud. Um, why don't we start with Ability Core and this really innovative platform, abilityE? How did this get started?
Yeah. So in the 90s is when we started with Ability Magazine and Ability Core. And Ability Core is our nonprofit organization. And within Ability Magazine and Ability Core, we have Ability Jobs, which is the first 100% disability centric job board, Ability
Mhm.
Job Fair, which is the same thing, 100% disability centric job fair. And a while ago, Netflix was trying to cast for a show, The Healing Power of Dude, and they were trying to
Mm.
find an authentic wheelchair user, and they were having a hard
Um,
time, finding that. So Netflix actually reached out to us because we were so involved in, the disability employment landscape at the time.
mhm.
And they reached out to us and they're like, hey, is there any way that you can help us maybe put your feelers out, see if you can find any authentic wheelchair users that fit this casting call that we're looking for? And we ended up finding hundreds of people to audition, and they ended up casting someone that we had found. And
Oh
from
wow.
that experience, it was really cool. So from that experience, we recognized the huge need for a talent resource where people within the entertainment industry that identify as having a disability can come together, showcase their talents, a resource where studios that are wanting to hire authentic representation can go one place and find them. And so that's how it got started. That's sort of the beginning of Ability E, is we did see the need for that.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That is so incredible. We were talking offline about just the fact that we both really, really want diverse communities and we want
Mhm.
representation in terms of how people see the world, right? I mean, this the world is not all white. It is not, people who are non-disabled, that
Mhm.
people every day are from different backgrounds. And so again, thank you for doing this. Thank you guys for creating this really cool and innovative way of creating more inclusion. Now, how exactly does the platform utilize AI assistive technology?
Yeah, so we have put a feature on there where studios that are wanting to look to fill a specific role can actually use the AI that's built into the platform to find entertainers that fit the specific casting call that they're looking for. So if
Mhm.
they're wanting like an authentic wheelchair user, AI can help them find the profiles on the website instead of them having to like hunt them down on their own. AI will search for them and present it. So it's a better way for us to get these profiles visible by the studios. So it kind of takes the human element out of it as far as like trying to hunt stuff down and taking the time to do that. And sometimes
Right.
people will get glossed over. So AI is like, here you go. Here's the perfect people for the role you're looking for. So we hope that it increases, the access to the entertainers that are fitting that specific role that they're looking for.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Now,
Yeah, it's a really
now,
cool feature.
you know, again, AI is such a beautiful technology. Have you found any like challenges at all in terms of like utilizing AI in this way?
We haven't yet. I think the way that we're utilizing AI, is a little bit different than I think what people automatically assume AI is, where AI
Hmm.
is like creating things from this large language model and it's AI write my school paper for me type of situation. It's a little bit different than that, whereas the AI is searching for information that's already accessible on our website. It's just expediting that process. So we haven't really had any issues with that. Um, yeah.
Well, I mean but that's great. I mean,
Mhm,
because I know a lot of times, especially with new technology, and I know even with our platform, one, the uses of AI are basically endless, right? I mean, it's like,
mhm,
okay, we've got all these capabilities that we can utilize. How are we going to capture on some of it, right? Not all of it, but some of it. And so it seems like you guys are really defining what AI means for you in this genre. So
mhm.
kudos to you guys. I mean, this is
Thank
great.
you.
This is really
Yeah.
great. How has your been, as I said before, you became disabled in 2021 and
Mhm.
you have your own kind of special journey with ability. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this may be a little bit triggering for people that deal
Hmm.
with like mental health issues. So I just want to throw that out there
Sure,
before I get
sure.
into it. But yeah, I was working I worked at Costco on the front end. So if you've ever been in a Costco, you know like what a fast-paced environment that is. And it was during the pandemic when I started to have some really intense anxiety issues, and I ended up being diagnosed with agoraphobia, and then chronic depression, which is something that I never really thought would happen, but it's been a
Yeah.
learning curve for sure. And I had to go out on disability because being around all those people in the crowds was too much.
Yeah.
And so I went on to my local government website. I'm in Metro Atlanta area, and they had links to resources for people with with disabilities, because I was like, "How I want to work? How can I work?"
Yeah.
And I found a link to Ability Jobs. And like I said, it's the disability centric job board that we created in '95. And I was like, this is incredible. Because up until that point, when I was applying for positions, I was struggling with, do I say I have a disability? Do I not say I have a disability? If they see that I
Yeah.
have a disability, are they actually going to want to hire me? And so I
Yeah.
didn't really know how to navigate that. But when you
Hmm.
go to Ability Jobs, all of those companies on there are specifically wanting to hire people with disabilities. So it's a comfortable space to be in,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
right? And so I was
yeah, go
going
ahead.
through the jobs on there. Yeah, no, yeah, and I found a advertisement for the Ability Job Fair, which is the other thing that we created, which is our 100% disability centric job fair. And I participated in that, and Ability Magazine had a booth in that, and I got hired onto Ability Magazine from there, and it's been an incredible experience. I feel seen, I feel
Yeah.
accepted. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in a place where I can like make a difference, make a positive change. And
Yeah.
so it was before I found like the Ability Jobs and Ability Job Fair, it was looking bleak for me. Like I was like,
Oh.
I know, I was like,
Oh.
this seems impossible, but yeah, so I'm incredibly passionate about the things we do simply because of my personal experiences with it.
Oh man. Well, we are glad that you're here.
Yes.
Listen, we're going to take a quick break because
Mhm.
everyone, we've got even more with Jennifer because she's going to talk with us about what it means to have authentic talent representation and how their platform makes casting even more inclusive. You don't want to miss this. So we'll be right back. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours.
Ready to embark on a wine-filled adventure? Book your luxury wine tour today with Old Vine Wine Tours and experience the unparalleled beauty and flavors of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. Old Vine Wine Tours offers transportation for the most amazing experiences in the Sonoma Valley, Santa Rosa, Healdsburg, and all of Sonoma County, as well as the Napa Valley and Clear Lake wineries of Lake County. From boutique tastings to bridal party transportation, we have you covered. Go to Old Vine Wine Tours /Wine in the Weeds for more information. Don't forget to mention promo code Soulivity to get 10% off either a culture or wine tour. Book your adventure today.
Are you a business owner looking to expand your reach and revenue to a perfect community? Being a Soulivity Today radio sponsor puts your business in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every week, and it's affordable too. For about the cost of a cup of coffee and snack each day, you can reach ideal people looking for your product or service. Our weekly 53-minute program airs on weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern and Pacific times with real conversations about the people, places, and topics that are part of our everyday life. A perfect opportunity for you. Go to soulivity.com /Soulivity today to learn how you can expand your business marketplace by becoming a Soulivity Today radio show sponsor. And for a limited time, special rates are being offered, so don't delay.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today as we talk with ability editor and journalist Jennifer Woodall about their amazing platform with a mission to create a world of inclusion and awareness for people with disabilities. We're celebrating 34 years of the ADA as well as Disability Pride Month, which is in July. Again, I'm loving this conversation because these are things that I think a lot of times you don't hear about in the mainstream media. So we're trying to do this here. We hope that people out there share this out to everybody so they can learn more about Ability Magazine, Ability Core, and abilityE, which is so important. As we said before, there's not a lot of representation in film and television specifically. What does it mean to have authentic talent representation?
Yeah, sure. So, authentic talent representation means if a character in your story uses a wheelchair, then you would cast someone who uses a wheelchair in real life for that position. The same thing with, autism, mental health issues, anything that falls within the scope of a disability. Authentic representation looks like casting someone who actually has those life experiences to represent that character in your production.
Wow. Okay. So I got it. I got it in my head now. And a lot of times, again, people don't know this, but most times when they see someone with a disability in film or on TV, most times they're not disabled. They're just acting as if they're disabled. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. The landscape is changing a little bit. There are some really great productions that are happening. Sue Ann Pien is an autistic actress, and she had her hand in some productions, one through Amazon, and then also a new one that's actually debuting this year that, is actually cast with autistic actors and actresses, and then also production crew, which I think that's important as well, and something that doesn't really get covered as much. Like, yes, we want to see authentic representation in front of the camera, but also behind the camera as well, because there's so much talent within the entertainment industry in all aspects of it. And
Right.
That's what we want to see more of. And so it's definitely, there's a long way to go, but the
Hmm.
tides are shifting, and we love to see that. And that's also with abilityE, what we're trying to propagate is an inclusive environment in front of and behind the camera. So it's exciting.
Excellent. Which is why before we got into it a little bit in the first segment, when you're talking about casting, right? I think a lot of people don't understand that casting is just not the actors, right? It's direction, it's producers, it's grips, it's folks, building sets. I mean, it's everybody. So let's go dive into this a little bit deeper. Let's talk about the way that the platform makes this casting, right? This all-inclusive casting more inclusive.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have a feature on the platform where studios can do casting calls right within the platform, like live casting calls over video conference. And that increases the accessibility of it. It increases the access to these entertainers as well. If for whatever reason it's difficult for someone to travel because of their disability, they're able to stay at home and do this remotely over video and have the casting call right within the platform. It's a really awesome feature. We love it. It makes things easier and streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's a way that we can increase the accessibility for the users of the platform.
Wow. So they can do this right from within the platform.
hmm
And these are companies and like casting agents and those folks that are already friendly, right? They're already friendly and they're looking for these specific people. So it's like, oh, well, just put your name in a hat and hopefully we'll pick you. It's no, no,
Right.
no, no. We're going to abilityE because we're looking for this specific person for either this role or this work to be on this cast.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. And another feature too that we have is we actually have a consultation service where we have people that work within the industry that have a disability. They're familiar with navigating this industry with a disability. They will actually consult with the studios that are hiring these people with disabilities on how to be more accessible, talk
Wow.
about, accommodations on set, what that looks like, appropriate languages and things like that. So we're making an effort to have like a connection between the studios and the entertainers, to have advocacy there, and inform and teach. So that's another service that we offer with abilityE, that we think is really beneficial.
Wow. So this is really like in the end
hmm
full kind of service to your clients, right? And that first of all need the work. They need work that is friendly to them, right? It's not like where they're just again throwing their hat in the ring and whatever, and it's like, well, I hope somebody picks me, right? It's like they know that people are looking for people who look at like just like them,
hmm
um, and that they're not alone, right? Once they get a job, you guys are basically helping them prepare for success.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, it's an awesome platform with those features like that. We work with like an improv class where we do like remote improv classes as well online. And also, I think it's good to mention that our platform is free for people to utilize.
Wow.
That actors, actresses, anybody that's involved in the entertainment industry that has a disability can use abilityE for free. All of it's free.
Right. Wow, oh
Yeah.
man, that's fantastic. That makes it even better.
It does.
Listen, again, I'm loving this conversation with you. Listen, stay right there
Mhm.
because we're going to take this break. But when we come back, everyone, I'm going to ask Jennifer about what she believes will be the future impact of abilityE on our society as a whole. Don't want to miss her answer. That's next. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life.
For more information about Aspire Academy by Soulivity, visit aspire.soulivity.com today.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity today as we talk with ability editor and journalist Jennifer Woodall about their amazing platform with a mission to create a world of inclusion and awareness for people with disabilities. We're also saying happy Disability Pride Month. We're also celebrating 34 years of the American with Disabilities Act, which is just so incredible. It's been that long. So kudos all the way around. Jennifer, I mean, you've been working with abilityE and abilityE core for a while now. And I'm sure from your perspective, you are seeing a lot of necessary change. We talked about film and television, but in other companies as well, because ability core has all these different employers and that kind of thing that are part of it. What sort of positive impact do you see abilityE having on our society?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think you can get any more positive than having a more inclusive environment and representation. People want to be seen, they want to be heard, and helping that happen, I think, is just a wonderful thing. Um, Ultimately, it is so important to have authentic representation. And I mean, not even just with disability, but with LGBTQ, people of color, like just across the board, authentic representation is so important. But also, too, I think an even bigger impact than that is seeing, people with disabilities cast in roles where their disability isn't the focus of the story. That they're, cast like the regular tapestry of life that we
Right.
see out and about, where, you have someone, an authentic wheelchair user, playing a role where them being in a wheelchair isn't the focus. They're just, playing the dad or playing a brother. And I think that that's so important. And I think that we will, once we get to that point, inclusivity will be achieved. And I think that across the board, for everything as well, like, LGBTQ, people of color, when, it is like a glimpse of the actual real world that we experience every day,
Right. Right.
then, people will feel seen and heard. And
Yeah.
I think that that's the impact there.
As you were talking about this, I'm kind of remembering in my head around things like, you'd see, back in the day when you'd see somebody who was disabled on TV, it was always a teaching moment, right, about
Mhm.
that person's life, which is good. I mean, there's those stories that need to be told, right? But to your point, there's a time at which people are disabled, it's their life, and there's normalcy that they're going through just like everyone else. And so I can't help but think sometimes that maybe our own fears and emotional states around like things like aging, or what happens if we suddenly become disabled, losing like in part our independence, and now we have to shift. Maybe this is a reason we don't see more disabled performers out, and we don't see them being represented as more. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I definitely think there's a fear there to 100%. There's still so much stigma surrounding disability. And these are like years and years long that are rooted in place. And when you have unconscious bias like that and stigma like that, it's so hard to break down. Um, but what I think people don't really realize is that disability is the only demographic that anybody can join at any point in time in their life. And I think what we know as disability maybe is different than what the general population thinks is disability. So, like cancer counts as a disability. When you're
Hmm.
aging, and you start losing like functionality and being able to do things counts as a disability. There's a whole slew of things called invisible disabilities that are like mental health issues or people that deal with
Hmm.
chronic pain. And these are things that so many people experience that I don't think they realize falls into that category, simply because of how the representation has been portrayed in things like Hollywood, right? You have movies like Rain Man that portray autism as a specific looking thing. And so then people think,
Right,
oh, all autism must look like that. And it's just how every human is different from person to person. Disability
right,
is different from person to person.
right,
And I think once people get more comfortable with that idea and, more comfortable with the notion that being disabled isn't a bad thing, right? And
right,
there's always this stigma around it that's like people don't, sometimes don't want to admit, like people that become disabled through their life that weren't born that way. It's a hard thing sometimes to say, yes, I have a disability, because it's still viewed as something like a weakness. And I think once that view changes, then people will be more comfortable with it, right? And more
yeah.
comfortable seeing it represented.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, on that note, I don't think I can wrap this any better than what you just did. I'm thinking of one of my favorite programs that it's not on anymore because it got canceled this year. I don't understand why it got canceled this year, but that's a whole nother situation. It's called The Good Doctor. I'm sure you know about The Good Doctor.
Mhm.
One of the things that I loved about that program was, yes, the principal actor in the role in it was a person who was autistic, right? But they didn't the show didn't necessarily focus so much on that. They focused more on his life and him creating his own life, his normalcy, finding a girlfriend, becoming a surgeon, becoming a father, right? And then there were other people that were also in there just living their lives, and how they would all kind of like commune together and laugh together and go through their lives together. And I love that because it was like, you know, that's the reality. That's the reality of how we live every single day. And so again, I applaud everything that you guys are doing. This is amazing. Where can people find out more information about Ability E and the Ability platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So, abilityE, um, I should have this memorized if it's a .com or org.
Well, we have the
I always
website information up just in
yeah,
case.
abilityE.com is where they can
Mhm.
find out more about abilityE directly. Ability Core as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're on the Ability Core website. That'll link
Yep.
to what we're doing with our nonprofit organization there. And of course, we're always open to donations since we're doing these things for free. There's a donations tab on there.
Oh,
I feel like I need to
I
plug
love
that
it.
a
I
little
love
bit.
it.
But yeah, and
Then
then
like
also
wave my fist.
Ability
You better go
yeah.
donate. You better go donate. Well, I'm just kidding.
And yeah, so an Ability magazine as well will link to some really wonderful stories about people's experiences with disability. So check it out.
Oh man, this has been really amazing.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, I
Thank you for being
appreciate
with
it.
us. Yeah, would you come back? Would you come back and join us
Yeah.
again? Kind of give us updates. Maybe we can have, maybe some people that you've helped. We can kind of like bring
Mhm.
them on and that kind of thing. Because I think we really want to make sure that people understand that there's resources out here. This is absolutely free. That was the one thing I was like, wow, this is free.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
and that people can be part of something that's truly changing the world as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you having me on this show. The more people that know about the awesome things that we're doing and are just aware of disability in general, the better. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, everyone, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back with a real special feature about four amazing people who have a lot to say about the impact of the Americans with Disabilities Act on their lives. So stay right there. Join us every weekday at 8 a.m. for Soulivity Today.
Whether you're just starting your day or on the road,
Soulivity Today will make your days better.
We will empower you with authentic conversation about the latest news and trending topics. Plus, you won't want to miss our interviews with industry experts.
so sit back, relax, and get ready for a whole lot of fun.
Soulivity Today, weekdays at 8 a.m. only on KMET 1490 AM radio and ABC News affiliate.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So, tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
6 years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today as we continue to celebrate Disabled Pride Month, as well as 34 years of the Americans with Disability Act, or what's more commonly known as the ADA. You know, there have been real lives affected since the passage of the ADA. This has been especially true with those that utilize resources available that are grounded in Section 504 regulations. Now, here's a great clip brought to us from the United States Department of Labor about the lives of four amazing people touched by this law and how that support has come from it. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Cecilia Grugan.
Section 504 in the Rehab Act, back in 1973, 50 years ago, proved to be the foundation that we needed in the disabled community today and for the future.
My name is Zandy Wong. Section 504 has helped me tremendously as I went through kindergarten to 12th grade. I actually had a Section 504 plan for my hearing loss up until about 8th grade. With Section 504, I was able to access services like speech-language pathology, which really helped me learn how to say words properly.
I didn't know as a child what access meant, or that I even needed access. I didn't know that I needed extra assistance to navigate the public school system. 504 served as a way to require certain tools to be applied in the classroom as a deaf person.
My name is Jalen Radzaminski. I personally did not access Section 504 Rehabilitation Act services when I was in elementary, middle, or high school. Similar to a lot of families in my community, especially in the Black community, we didn't really know a lot of those services existed. So unfortunately during those times, I just had to overwork and overcompensate to be able to make it through those stages of my life.
My name is Misha Nicholas. Unfortunately, I was undiagnosed growing up as a child, so I wasn't able to actually, fully get the 504 privileges of accommodation in schools. Finding my identity in the 504 process is what really led me to get a diagnosis in my adult years, and leading up to that, I was able to request for accommodations.
Individually, having the access to education and workforce programs that can help people with disabilities figure out what they want to do with their lives is so important for helping them gain financial independence and independence to live independently by themselves.
Being able to access equitable and inclusive services it's really everything. It can make or break so much of your career, and I wish there were more transparent heart-to-heart conversations about how to access Section 504 services and accommodations in the workplace.
The world is continuing to evolve. People are continuing to evolve. Products and services and spaces that we utilize, they continue to evolve. So therefore, foundations such as Section 504 and the Rehab Act need to evolve with new legislation and continued creative and innovative solutions.
The Rehab Act laid the foundation for the ADA, which ensured that the workplace protections provided by the Rehab Act would be applicable in almost all workplaces, not just federal or federally funded assisted ones.
I was born into an ADA generation just a few years ago, and I don't think I would have been able to accomplish or do even half of the things that I have been able to do and the social justice projects I've been able to complete without the ADA.
But when it came to my job, it was just simply accessing like test measures just to make sure that, I, for example, could have adequate time, right? Or if I had a problem with a question or I was struggling to, conceptualize it, I had that ability to ask.
At Hopkins, where I am a rising senior, I participate in the Johns Hopkins Neuroscience Scholars Program, which is a program for deaf and hard of hearing students who want to become neuroscientists in the near future. And without the ADA, programs like these wouldn't have been supported, wouldn't have been recognized as important for advancing the workforce, and that's really important.
Because of ADA, I can make a phone call. Because of the ADA, I can go enjoy a musical with my partner because that's my partner's favorite thing. Because of ADA, I have a job. And not only that, I have a job that I cherish. And because of ADA, I was able to deliver my child at the hospital.
The law is just one equation in the story. It's up to everyone in the community to, stand up for themselves.
The ADA has also really helped me recognize my own agency as a person with a disability. It's really informed my advocacy because it helps me realize that my disability isn't a burden. It's a source of pride.
I'm hoping people in our disability community and people who want to engage in allyship outside of it will continue to see the light we're trying to carry into this work and be enlightened so that accessibility and integration and equity and inclusion is just of value to everyone.
To all the leaders of the disability rights movement. Thank you for fighting the good fight, and we're going to keep it going.
Again, you can learn more information about everything that was mentioned in that video by visiting the dol.gov/ODEP. Listen, everyone, we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll have more of Soulivity Today in just a second.
Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours.
Ready to embark on a wine-filled adventure? Book your luxury wine tour today with Old Vine Wine Tours and experience the unparalleled beauty and flavors of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. Old Vine Wine Tours offers transportation for the most amazing experiences in the Sonoma Valley, Santa Rosa, Healdsburg, and all of Sonoma County, as well as the Napa Valley and Clear Lake wineries of Lake County. From boutique tastings to bridal party transportation, we have you covered. Go to Old Vine Wine Tours /Wine in the Weeds for more information. Don't forget to mention promo code Soulivity to get 10% off either a culture or wine tour. Book your adventure today.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Would you like to be one of the first people to experience mental freedom? Mental freedom is a coaching practice with 6 core principles: improving hope, self-efficacy, optimism, resilience, and general well-being. Mental freedom only takes 6 sessions. It is designed to give you the tools you need to help yourself. It can help with any situation: relationship problems, past trauma, career decisions, parenting challenges, addiction, and mental health concerns. Incorporating the mental freedom framework into your life will deliver an approach to master any situation and a pathway toward achieving inner peace. Mental freedom provides the information and tools that you need to grow and be bigger than anything that ever happens to you. So if you're looking for one-on-one or a group coaching program that will allow you to address any situation that comes up in your life with practical tools to give you more peace and joy, then join the Mental Freedom Program in Soulivity's Aspire Academy. There are very limited spots available, so don't delay. I hope to see you there.
You can learn more about the Mental Freedom Program with Teresa Greco by visiting soulivity.com/Teresa Mental
Join us
Freedom Today.
every weekday at 8 a.m. for Soulivity Today.
Whether you're just starting your day or on the road,
Soulivity Today will make your days better.
We will empower you with authentic conversation about the latest news and trending topics. Plus, you won't want to miss our interviews with industry experts.
so sit back, relax, and get ready for a whole lot of fun.
Soulivity Today, weekdays at 8 a.m. only on KMET 1490 AM radio and ABC News affiliate.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Just want to thank our guest again, abilityE magazine and core editor and journalist Jennifer Woodall, for joining us for this amazing show. Just want to kind of remind people that, you know, as we were talking about 34 years of celebrating the Americans with Disability Act being signed into law in 1990, as well as Disability Pride Month, that when we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, don't be fooled by some people making that only about certain minorities, right? People of color, women. It also includes people who are disabled, where we're trying to create a diverse, equitable, and inclusive world. So be careful, be knowledgeable, be curious around things like this, because your decisions, especially now that we're in an election season, can affect a whole lot of people, even yourself in the future. Because remember, as Jennifer said, there can be times at which we ourselves can go through an experience where we can either be temporarily or permanently disabled at any given moment. So just remember that. Listen, just want to say thank you for joining us today. Again, listen, want to remind you that we are on social media. We're on all the major platforms. We'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to connect with us. We want your comments, your thoughts, questions, or ideas. Just reach out to us. Also, every show that you see here on Soulivity TV is also a podcast. So go to your major podcast provider. You can download us and take us wherever you go. Also want to remind you too that Soulivity.com has got some great new material and even more coming. Want to remind you about the Whole Health Healing System curriculum is back. This great course from our own Dr. Mark Mancola is accepting registrations, and that you can go to Soulivity.com, click on this story that's right there on the middle of the page, and you can learn more about this amazing course that's being brought to you on Aspire Academy, and how you can get registered today. Classes begin on Monday, September 30th. Well, listen, want to say thank you to all of you once again for joining us for this edition of Soulivity Today. This is how we do it every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern on our Soulivity TV channels, or you can watch or even listen to us wherever you go out in Southern California by going to KMET 1490 AM radio. Don't want to miss it at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So thanks again for joining us. And remember, keep working that passion and purpose, everyone, because guess what? You're going to create your best life of high quality living today. See you later. Bye for now.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its